2022, there was a faction in my caucus consisting of a few white councillors, a few, not the majority, a few. They then would attack me consistently with the support of Solly, I must say. Solly and some of his friends in the caucus. They would regularly attack me on the caucus WhatsApp groups. So what I also found out, one of them then screenshot the attacks against me, and they sent it to Helen and then claimed that the whole caucus turned against me. So already they got the support of Helen and John to oust me. At the same time, in July, I saw the trouble coming. In July 2022, they suddenly appointed Celius Brink to be in charge of white stakeholders in the city of Tshwane, and that all service delivery issues concerning white residents had to be referred to Celius Brink. And the instruction always also implied that I had to, as mayor, had to report to Celius Brink. And I absolutely refused. And I told my chief of staff, there's no way I'm going to report to someone who is not a politician in the city of Tshwane and who's not above me. I'm not going to happen. And then afterwards, Solly sent a WhatsApp message. It was never intended that I should report to Celius Brink. So I could see from that time, and with the faction, there was a move to oust me as mayor. And it was clear. The thinking then already was to appoint Celius Brink. So the point I want to make is disrespect for the multi-party coalition agreement, the ousting of Celius Brink. I don't know why the issue of motions of no confidence has suddenly become a problem. As the DA in the city of Tshwane, we've made extensive uses of it. We brought it several times against Marunwa. We brought it under Solly as well, motions of no confidence. We brought several motions of no confidence in the city of Tshwane to remove the current speaker. So when it suits the DA, motions of no confidence, it's absolutely fine. But when it's against the DA, no, it shouldn't be used. So that is the circumstances. I don't believe Celius Brink has a divine right to govern the city of Tshwane. The city of Tshwane has severe problems. Whether he's the right person to run the country, I can't say. Whether he's the right person, but one thing I do know, he's definitely not the Messiah. The information given to the residents of the city of Tshwane is misleading, because that cannot be regarded as achievements by him and his mayoral committee. So there you have it.
Again, here's another proof that the Democratic Alliance is very, very racist against their own. So, well, I speak a lot with DA people, Africans in particular. If you do not believe me that DA is racist, just look at their track record. All the accusations leveled against the DA is the truth. Remember that accusation that I ran through everyone that I was interviewing, that the DA targeted white areas and neglected the black areas. It is true. Why is it true? Randall Williams has just confirmed what we knew, what the political parties have said. They have just confirmed it, that, in fact, Celius Brink is the one who was making sure that this thing is, it's lived to its fullest opportunity. They get rid of him. The treatment that Randall Williams, who is colored, suffered, they would never allow an African to do that. Imagine this man is very senior in a lot of things to Silas Brink, but they wanted Silas Brink to be his senior. Go figure. Let me tell you, here's another thing. I've said it a lot in this podcast. DA Africans, they know they are being marginalized. They know they are begging for their job. They know they are twigging far too much. But they will only tell us and they will only agree with us once they are outside the DA, because they do it when they have no choice. But just continue listening to Randall Williams and then tell me, because I do not want to attach other things, just to continue proving to you that the DA is racist. And that's why we always wonder, forget about what the EFF and the ANC problems are. That's why we always wonder, why would African people vote for the DA if they do not want to admit that they are racist? Machine Political Inquiry, please keep listening so we can clarify this matter. Listen more to Randall Williams. Thank you.
Randall Williams is giving his perspective on the leadership instability that's plaguing the office of the executive mayor in the capital city. And it comes only days after Silas Brink was removed from office as mayor through a motion of no confidence in his leadership. Let's take you live to Pretoria.
At the time, that is a false number to give. It gives people a false picture of what the finances of the city is like, whether it's improving or not. And I told him, never report on the 120%. Look at the actual recovery rate of a particular month for which invoices were issued to our customers.
Sorry, Mr. Williams. Is it possible to look at Jack?
Okay.
No, I'm getting I don't know, yeah. Yeah, this way.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, sure.
And then again, I read a few weeks ago, a former MMC of the previous executive also stated that the Hammanskraal water issue will finally be resolved. And I was quite surprised, because I know there are three phases that had to be implemented in order to resolve the Hammanskraal water issue. And the second phase turned into a disaster because of the fraud and corruption that took place in that particular tender that was issued in 2019. And then he stated that Magali's water will be providing water to the Themba water treatment plant, and they will now pump drinkable, potable water to the residents of Hammanskraal. And I remember that was a project that I started, that I initiated, that we had to engage with Magali's water and see if they can't pump water to the Hammanskraal residents. And because I was so intricately involved, I know the limitations of Magali's water. The Magali's water does not have the capacity to provide Hammanskraal residents with water. They will only be able to partially alleviate the problem in Hammanskraal. So only a percentage of people of Hammanskraal will get clean water through that process. The other point is, what he completely left out is that the Rooiwal wastewater treatment plant will still be spewing filthy water into the polluted water, into the Apis River, and into the dam that's supposed to feed the Themba water treatment plant. So the farmers are still going to have the problem that they won't be able to use the water from the Apis River to irrigate their fields. So definitely, the issue in Hammanskraal is not going to be resolved this month. And then I want to come. I mean, it's been clear that since the COVID closed down, that the revenue collection of the city has gone down. What we've also now seen from National Treasury, the grant, which is called the equitable share that's given to municipalities, will be reduced. But what has happened, the mayor has taken the decision, which he himself said, is that he's now increasing the budget. The budget under me was about 43 billion rands. But he has now increased the budget to 48 billion rands, and he's quite proud of it. But here's the thing, if you run a business and you have less income, how can you increase your expenditure? You simply cannot do that. If there's less income, you have to reduce your expenditure, because now when he increases the budget to 48 billion, what he is saying, he's going to spend 48 billion rands. So where's the money going to come from? In fact, what is happening now, the city of Tshwane is running an unfunded budget. A budget that is not funded. So they're spending money that they don't have. And how do they do it? For instance, the big creditors, they don't pay, like Eskom, Rand Water, they don't pay them. Or they give them reduced payments. They use the money to pay the smaller creditors, the smaller service providers. So it's robbing Paul to pay Peter. And then what they also do, because here's another problem that faced me when I entered the city. And I stated right from the start that the city was bankrupt. And the DA didn't like it that I stated that the city was bankrupt. But I said that the residents needed to know the truth. So when I looked at the financial statements, I also saw that payments were in arrears to service providers up to 8 months in arrears. And over the 2 years, we reduced that to 3 months. When National Treasury's regulations state that you have to pay a service provider within 1 month, we managed to improve it up to 3 months. Now here's the thing. When you spend more money than what you have, by the end of the financial year, there's going to be a lot of service providers that you haven't paid. So I suspect that 3 months will be more now. It will be a lot more. So eventually what they will do, the money due during this financial year, they will roll over into the next financial year. So they will use the new budget to pay existing creditors of this financial year. That's the only way that you can cope with an unfunded budget. So the clear truth is the financial situation in the city of Tshwane has not improved. And now I want to come back to the bad audit opinion, which will then go into how I left the city of Tshwane. Now, when that audit opinion was leaked in December 2022, I immediately asked the employees to start drafting a recovery plan. And we all worked very hard on the recovery plan over the Christmas period. By the 2nd of January, the recovery plan was ready to be implemented. And we did implement it. However, and this date I remember quite well, on the 7th of January, on a Saturday morning at 10:30, I was called into an online meeting with John Steenhuisen and Solly. And in that meeting, they then fired me. And John stated that he's merely a messenger and that it was a decision by the federal executive of the DA that I should be fired. And then he asked me a bizarre question. After he finished his statement, he asked me, "So how do you feel about being fired?" And what do you say? If someone fires you, you feel good. So in any case, the following days, I never received any formal notification from the DA that I was fired on the 7th of January. So I just went to the office and I continued working and I continued implementing the recovery plan. About 2 to 3 weeks after the 7th of January meeting where I was fired, I was called with all my MMCs to an online meeting to all the multi-party to present the recovery plan to the multi-party coalition leaders. So all the leaders were there, Herman Mashaba, all of John Steeners, they were all there. So before the meeting started, I mean, we were all online, and before proceedings started, John then asked the chair of FF Plus whether he could have a private word with all the leaders and that we, the rest of us, should exit the meeting. The other multi-party leaders then refused. They refused to meet with him alone. They say, no, the mayor is here. The mayor must first present his recovery plan, and then we will have a discussion afterwards. And the FF Plus Mulder, he agreed. That's the way he was going to conduct the meeting. So I then presented the recovery plan. And after the recovery plan, and what I suspected, the reason why John wanted to meet with them alone was to inform them that he fired me already and he needed their support. He needed consensus of them, because ultimately I was appointed as mayor by the multi-party coalition leaders, not only by the DA. So after the discussion, there was quite a surprising event. The multi-party caucus, the multi-party coalition leaders then came out in support of me to continue as mayor. And they said that I needed to report back to them on a regular basis on the implementation of the recovery plan. So the meeting ended with the decision that I will continue as mayor. 3 weeks after that, I was called to another meeting. This time there was John Solly and two others, Thomas Walters and I think Fred Nell was also in the meeting. And it was again on a Saturday. And then again, they said, no, you can't continue as mayor, you need to step down. And we need your resignation letter immediately. So that was quite surprising, because the multi-party coalition leaders took a decision. And the DA then disrespected the decision and overturned the decision without informing the multi-party coalition leaders and without trying to seek or get their consensus, get their agreement.
So sorry, Mr. Rose, I just wanted to ask that, in relation to Celia being ousted as mayor, what's your view on that?
I'm coming there. I'm giving a chronological. You can cut out what you want to cut out. I'm giving a chronological account. I'm coming there.
Yeah.
So any case, so I was instructed, the instruction went to my chief of staff. He drafted the resignation letter, and the Sunday evening, the letter had to be delivered, sent to Helen, and Helen had to approve the resignation letter. And only after Helen approved the resignation, I then had to sign the resignation, and the resignation was announced the Monday morning. But the Monday morning, there was a whole problem again, because now the city was left without an executive. So when Solly went on the news, he then stated it was my fault, that I decided, they didn't tell, it was my decision to resign, and I should have resigned at the end of the month. When in fact it was their instruction that I should resign immediately. So he again was dishonest with the residents of the city of Tshwane. So they asked me to withdraw that letter and to redate it, change the date to the end of the month. But then, as it turned out, the opposition parties objected, and my resignation of that Monday morning was then final. So here's the thing. That wasn't an isolated event that happened on its own.
Down with racism, down! Down with racism, down! Down! comrades, a ke tlo bua. Ke na le moetapele wa ka.
Speaking to people, you divorce people without telling them, and that's what Brank started using words like BS, referring to Mashaba and action. Yeah, I mean, so from calling people of his opposition that they are thugs and drunkards, and then he called you at the time you were still with him that it's bullshit. So what did you feel?
No, we're expecting that. We're expecting that because Brink and DA, they're behaving as if they were born with a mayoral chain. And they think, no, they think it should be them, always them leading. Is their way or no, the highway. So we're expecting that for Brink to behave like a spoiled brat. And then indeed he behaved like a spoiled brat. He behaved as if action SA owes him something.
Yeah.
Where else you are an independent political party. We have our own structures to engage to, and we'll answer to our structures, not Silas Brink or the DA.
Yeah.
We definitely don't owe them anything. So we're expecting him to throw tantrums. You know, my brother, if as a person you are feeling entitled to everything, this is how you will behave when they take something. It's like let me just say a child. It's like taking a sweet from a child, because that child feels like, or that sweet belongs to him or her. So that's what we expected from Brink. We did not feel any pain or somehow. Even on the Joint Caucus WhatsApp group, we woke up one day, they removed us.
We saw the screenshots.
So they removed us, but we never felt any pain. Former MMC of Finance, she removed us.
Feel vindicated?
No, it's true, because first of all this old administration who go out today, they never ever take any service delivery to go to the townships, in the black townships in particular, because they are using the racist system of whites. All the budget, they took all the budget, they sent it to Woma Waterkloof, where there is the white people. So in the black communities, there is nothing. You can go there and check. There is nothing happening. And all the councillors, each and every, those who are holding those wards of the black in majority, there is nothing happening there. SOA is running. There is legal dumpings. There is no roads. It's a mess. So as SACP, we are very, very happy what happened today. We hope that...
You know anything about is it MOU that was signed with AfriForum for safety, or for what was happening there?
No, that MOU, like the DA is that political party that is very arrogant, more especially to servicing black communities.
1,000 votes, and Overking is leading that poll with 47. So Dr. Moya, Dr. Maipa Abamutu is at 12, and Dr. Moya 20, and people who want Brank to return, you see they're sitting at 22%. In sourcing. How far is insourcing? Is it possible? You know you're not committing, but in realistic terms,
But then Gwenamolot, there's always been a backbencher. Otherwise, so they never took him serious. Never took him serious. No, but that's true. That's true. The man joined council during that time of 2016. The man is a clown. You know my brother.
I'm so Lamara.
No, the man is a clown. In politics, reality in politics. WhatsApp group. We woke up to one day, they removed us.
We saw the screenshots.
So they removed us, but then we never felt any pain.
Jakey.
Yeah, they for my MMCO finance.
Every resident deserves services. You need to service the townships as much as you are servicing the suburbs. We don't believe in that kind of discrimination. Service the people. So this mayor, his arrogance made him think white is superior to black. And we don't have time for that nonsense.
Question. Obviously, Bring is no longer the mayor, so it's not compared by council to.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, agree you send it. Is he no longer the councillor?
No,
Was
but we are not sure that he's coming back.
But he won't go to Cape Town. Barry is not
that's a
going to go
lie.
to Parliament
He
and
loves-
leave these power stations and
He loves
the electricity
power.
meter.
He loves power. That why he's not going to be an ordinary councillor.
Yes.
He's too proud of himself. He's too proud.
So what about Butemba Fosi and the others, Bujeki? They're going to be ordinary
No,
councillors.
they're out now. They're out and they're definitely not coming back.
They won't be ordinary councillors.
No, obviously those who are not benefiting. Pela Brink is a spoiled brat. His family is funding DA. So you think someone like Brink, who feels proud about himself and then being a spoiled brat, will become an ordinary councillor?
Yeah.
Never.
So he's going to be a backbencher in Parliament. What is he going to do?
No, obviously, since his family is funding the DA, they'll make a plan for him
Somewhere.
in the GNU or somewhere.
Yeah.
So they'll make a plan for him. It's not going to stay in Tshwane.
Yeah.
Aye.
So what happens to Bukwena Muloto and who other comrades, who Ufenze Mativatila and who Jeki AC and what's going to happen to them?
No, those ones very unfortunately, like some of them, they are my friends, but
Yeah.
then they don't have anywhere else to go.
Yeah.
The DA is their employer.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, it's tough. Well,
Yeah.
So they're just singing for Sapa.
Yeah.
All of them, all those blacks leaders of the
Yes.
DA in that council, they're just singing for Sapa. But then reality of the matter is that they're not even feeling the DA as their party. If they had any other choice, they would have long left the DA. So they'll just become backbenchers, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Bokwena Molot. But then Gwena Molot, there's always been a backbencher.
Yeah.
Otherwise, so they never took him serious. Never took him serious.
Oh, I'm fit to Rabia.
No, but that's true. That's true. The man joined council during that time of 2016. Not even to show the DA is very racist, my brother.
Yeah. So all these people have been promoted in front of him.
Exactly.
Jackie just came
Jackie just came and then they never took him serious. To show the DA is very racist, ne? Before this marriage of us and them ended, there were 2 vacant positions of Section 79 chairpersons. You know, my brother, they never even considered even a black young fellow.
Yeah.
They put whites there.
Ish.
They put whites as their candidates. All these blacks who are defending, they're defending nonsense. Even this one of Makaleng. It's just always defending. But reality of the matter is that they are not taken serious in their own political party. and then they're just singing for SAPA, protect him, but they are not considered for any impactful position or okay, this one at least this.
So Magaleng has been working the DA for a long time. So Magaleng came le Kwena, or Kwena came first?
No, Magaleng came first. They never gave him anything. Kwena came. They never gave him anything. They're just defenders. They're just defenders. Their job is to defend. Is to defend. But then they are not taken serious in their own political party. Maybe they are doing it for salaries or what, we don't know. But
so here's the thing. When you're talking about that, so Suruti did not get an MMC position there by an MEC position there by Panyaza. And, you know, there was no big storm in the province. Mara, in the city, there's a huge storm because you want to remove Brank. Why is this? People are asking, what is this?
No, Angry Brink, it's his boy. It's his boy. They even bought Temba Fosi. They're reporting to Sony. Temba Fosi